Here's a phenomenon. Not sure if I've discussed it before, but people that have come with me into the woods in this forest have noticed it. The rocks, the big rocks, look as if they've been melted and molded back together because they have literal folds and like impressions. I don't know if you can see that. Yeah. It's like weaving. So interesting. You could argue that it's a glacial scrape or pull, but how would it weave? Like, how would it create a weave pattern? One directional linear pattern makes sense, but a weave does not make sense. A lot of these stones are very interesting. Like, that's got a mouth. Somebody was up here, but this has a cavern through it. Something could go in there, stay in there, pass through there. Sort of at the top of Burnt Meadow area. I found a strange set of artifacts earlier that looks just like a cleaver. Now it's a cut stone. See the angle? See how flat? Then you got the edge, the blade, a handle, or some type of wood structure to go on this, and it was used as a chopping weapon, axe, tool. This seems more like a serious weapon. It was probably on a big staff and executioner style. But these are just some of the artifacts, all right? So I take one to remember the spot I found it, and I come back, and I will come back with archaeologists, with the Native Americans to show them where it is, and there's storehouses of this stuff. I usually find half a dozen to a dozen, and I don't even do any digging. If I dug, from what I've read, these Native American civilizations and tribes and generations would bury all their current tools on top of the tools from past civilizations in the same spaces. Just like we do our dumps in the same spaces as the last generation. So I take one piece. I'm not disturbing anything, despite everybody's opinion on the matter. The ones that are disturbing the places are the ones that are passing by them, ignoring the history, ignoring the sacredness and the artifacts and the history. And when they see a corporation buy that land and start pillaging it and destroying it for profit, they don't say anything. So those are the people that are doing damage, not me, who's taking one piece, not for personal collection, not for anything other than to provide proof to the modern world that we, modern Americans, do not know too much, and that's why we're struggling so much for answers and solutions to all of the problems we've created. When these civilizations had lived here for thousands of years in peace, despite what our history books tell us, there were thousands of nations living in the same land under peace agreements. Our United States Constitution was drafted word for word from a Native American intertribal agreement and constitution that they had implemented for thousands of years before we got here. And when they saw the chaos that we brought to the land, killing each other and killing everything we saw, all for the sake of personal gain, the natives stepped in, said, listen, you guys need to develop a system to relate to each other with, so you don't just destroy each other generation after generation. We have one. We will share it with you. The white men renamed it the United States Constitution. And Native Americans got no credit for it, but you can look this up in history. My point with this rant is, we are very quick as individuals to listen to somebody else that we just met and ignore everything they said about their perspective just so we can impress our perspective on them, and we think that's influencing. We think we're an influencer in this world because that's the thing to do. No, you are not an influencer. I don't care who you are, how successful you think you are, how many people tell you you're influencing them. You're not doing a service to anybody. You are, and you know this in your heart, that you are giving people something that they think they want so you can benefit yourself personally. Call it what you want, it's the truth. This has been going on forever, and that's why it seems normal, and you justify it as doing the right thing. Oh, I'm trying to help other people, but at the end of the day, the people that you're taking that money from for your coaching programs are probably going bankrupt, and you're making tons of money off not really helping them, just showing them that you think you're better than them and they should pay you because of it. That's literally what England was doing with the colonists, and then it's what the colonists wind up doing with the Africans and the Asians, and then what the rest of us do to somebody nowadays that doesn't have as much as we do socioeconomically. This all came down to the founders of this country not giving credit where credit was due because they were trying to create something new and unique, which I get it. But they took all of their founding principles from two communities. Masonry, which started in ancient Egypt, and Native American societal structure, which has been here in this land for tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands and millions of years. They had farms, they had so many tens of thousands of animals, free range grazing that they could just utilize when they needed for whatever reasons. And we came and we tried to destroy this paradise as much as possible, but good thing is it's still here. We still got artifacts to prove that this land and this culture that I'm speaking about was here. I'm not the only one talking about this. Look up any book that has anything to do with Native Americans of the Hudson Valley, the Ramapo tribe, the Lenni Lenape. There are several authors that have covered this stuff, and I'm not going to be able to quote their names off the top of my head because, to be quite honest, I'm a bit dehydrated and malnourished. This is a longer journey into the woods than I expected. But look at this. This road, made of giant rocks, goes all the way up. Look at that megalith. And these are markers of the road. Now these rocks are huge. Just to give you a scale, I'm a strong guy. I don't know if I'd be able to pick up this one, and that's one of the smaller ones. Look at the size of these guys. And these were placed here comparatively to the stone that I found. Do you see? And all of these were placed in a line without any machinery at some point in the distant past, because we are deep in the woods. I'm like a mile into the woods off any road now, and I don't go on trails. This is not an official trail, although as you can see over my shoulder, clearly a cleared out marked trail. These trees have fallen in the past, I would say 20, 30 years, because they're starting to rot away. I might even be able to kick through this one. You see, like, it's not so heavy, not so dense anymore. But these trees have been here for a long time. Anybody that clears paths for trails, conference, or anything like that, four-wheeler riders, they come back with chainsaws and they cut those trees in segments so you can walk through and pass through, and these have never been cut. And I'm continuing to follow this path, which all along the side of it has these stacked stones to mark it. Now, I'm back here alone. If you see me glance off like that, it's because I hear something, and there are chances that there are predators up here. I know for sure we have bears, coyotes, bobcats. Mountain lions are back here. Not as prevalent, but they are back here, and they're the ones you see coming the least and the last. And it's a wilderness. Bears are out. Most of them won't attack, but to be honest, I've been looking out for most was the rattlesnakes and the copperheads, because it's a warm day, and I thought they might come out of their hibernation thinking it's spring, so just being cautious. All right, getting back towards the road here. I gotta be careful because I followed a river up, and if I don't keep that riverbed near me, because I'm trying to follow this trail, yep, now this is taking me off into another place. So I'm gonna wander through the woods, no trail. I'm gonna go back and find that river, There's waterfalls. Uh-oh. Came upon a cliff somehow. We'll deal with it. Everything happens for a reason, right? Maybe I'll find something cool here. So, to be said, I am in the Ramapo Mountains, right now in the Ringwood side, walking up towards what would be West Milford area and the Appalachian Mountains. And I'm just in this cool little rock ravine. This is what, if you ever see me posting about Stonetown or singing a song about Stonetown or tagging Stonetown and you're like, I've never heard of Stonetown, New Jersey. Stonetown is arguably the most ancient part of Ringwood. Ringwood itself was founded officially in 1742. For those aware of history, America itself was founded in 1776. So Ringwood has rights over the United States in terms of the United States rules. And